Hello, everyone, and welcome to our cruise webinar. Today, we will be going to the beautiful Galapagos Islands with Celebrity Cruises. My name is Gloria Rodriguez, and I'm the Market Sales Manager for Celebrities Galapagos. I'll take you on a brief journey today where we can really look at the beautiful archipelago of the Galapagos Islands and everything that Celebrity has to offer there. One thing that I want you to take away from today's presentation is that Celebrity has a truly all-inclusive and seamless vacation package waiting for you. And most importantly, we have amazing partnerships in the Galapagos Islands, and our vacations are definitely environmentally conscious, where we do everything to preserve the islands and have the beautiful islands available for many generations to come. So one of our partnerships in the Galapagos is with the fishing community there. And so all of the food, for example, on board is sourced locally. We have a wonderful partnership with the fishing community there. We also have worked with the agricultural community in Galapagos and helped them to plant their own Galapagos tomato. And lastly, we have a reforestation program where all of our guests get to plant a scalacia tree when they visit the Galapagos Islands with Celebrity. But most importantly, we've been able to bring the Celebrity style, and for those of you that have sailed on any of our Celebrity ships in the past, you'll probably know what I'm talking about, but it's about bringing modern luxury to this amazing destination. And we do everything Celebrity style in the Galapagos. Our most popular package is our all-inclusive 10-night experience, where you have a pre and a post in Quito, Ecuador. We, of course, include the round-trip flights between Baltra and Quito. Your 7-night cruise is included, and everything is pre-planned. So all of your meals are included, beverages are taken care of, gratuities are all taken care of. Most importantly, our excursions on board, led by the Galapagos National Park Naturalist, are all included, as well as your snorkeling equipment, use of binoculars, and even the entrance fee to the Galapagos National Park and your tourist card fee have been taken care of. So really, if you need to bring any extra money at all, it would be for souvenirs, a massage on board, which is not included, or I'll get into it a little bit later, but we do have a fabulous glamping opportunity on board our Celebrity Flora, and those would be the only items that would not be included. Now, besides our popular 10-night package, for those guests that are looking to stay an extra day in Quito and do something on their own, maybe have their own excursion for a full day, we have an 11-night package where you have the 2 nights pre, the 7-night cruise, and then instead of just the 1 night at the end, you have 2 nights post-stay. Our concierge desk at the JW Marriott is definitely there to assist with any other tours that you may want on that extra day, and they can definitely help you with that once you are there. In addition, we also offer our 16-night package, where we have the 2-night pre in Quito, the 7-night cruise, followed by 2 nights in Lima, 2 nights in the Sacred Valley, 2 nights in Cusco, and of course you get to visit the iconic Machu Picchu, and you get there by train. And then at the end you have 1 night in Lima, just so that you kind of get a chance to relax before your flight home. This extra package, it's actually also all-inclusive, and the properties are fabulous. We even stay at a monastery, all 5- and 6-star properties throughout the entire package. Now, you may be wondering why it is that we fly our guests into Quito. And of course, that is because Quito is only 1 hour and 45 minutes away from the Galapagos Islands. So it really does help with making sure that you go on board the ship, that you don't miss your ship. And that's why we suggest that you do fly into Quito and you do your pre and post packages with us. Our flight into the Galapagos Islands is an hour and 45 minutes. It's a nonstop flight, and you'll be happy to know that it's only our celebrity guests on board that flight. So it is an exclusive celebrity flight, which again adds to this entire package being so seamless. This is a great picture of the JW Marriott in Quito. We've had a relationship with them now for over 17 years, and they really are fabulous partners and really know how to take care of our celebrity guests. We have a concierge, so the minute you arrive, your concierge for celebrity will check you in. They'll have some refreshments for you. They'll take care of your luggage, and they'll be there to answer any questions throughout your stay. Really a beautiful property, and you get to see amazing Ecuadorian roses throughout the property. It's really well maintained. The rooms are very spacious. The bathrooms are just beautiful and again, very spacious and generous. And the staff there is just amazing. On the second morning, you're going to enjoy breakfast at the hotel, followed by a walking tour of the colonial city of Quito. Now, this is a World Heritage Site, and it's quite a beautiful city. You can really see the Spanish influence here. So you'll get a chance to walk through and visit several cathedrals. You'll walk by the palace in Quito, and then you'll enjoy lunch right in the center of town, in Old Town, Quito, followed by an optional tour of the Middle of the World Museum, if you'd like to do that in the afternoon. And that's really a fun-filled afternoon. The staff at the museum, they have several activities for our group where you get to stand on the equator line and actually see what the impact is if you're on either side of the equator. So a lot of interesting activities. Now that evening, we'll go back to the hotel. You'll have a chance to freshen up, and then we'll have dinner at another fabulous restaurant, actually one of the best restaurants in Quito. So it's a fabulous full day. Our guests are usually just very impressed that that's the first day and they have so much to do. And then the next morning, we've already taken care of doing the inspections on your luggage at the hotel the night before. So the next morning, you are escorted over to the airport, but it's, again, very seamless. You don't have to stand on any lines or wait for any inspections or to purchase any your tourist card. Everything has been done for you in advance. Once you arrive in the Galapagos Islands, our naturalists are there. You're really going to get an opportunity to see the Galapagos through the eyes of the experts. Our naturalists most of them are born in the Galapagos Islands. Many of them are biology majors, and they just have a passion for their islands. The flora, the fauna that you're going to experience there. And they can really speak at any level. We've had many biologists that visit the Galapagos with us. We've had families with small children. And the naturalists are just fabulous about working with everyone. The groups, of course, we'll talk a little bit more about that, but the groups are very small when you're visiting the Galapagos. Now, we do have all activities, all types of levels available for our guests. So every night, you're going to have a briefing with the naturalists on board, and they're going to share with you what's available as an excursion for the next day, and you will be able to then decide and actually sign up for whatever excursions you're interested in. You will have 2 to 3 excursions per day if you'd like. Again, everything is optional, but my take is that everyone that goes to the Galapagos really wants to do as much as they can, and so we do find that a lot of our guests are very involved in wanting to do both, at least 2 excursions per day. As far as what we have to offer, we do have snorkeling available. Again, your suits, your wetsuits, your mask, everything is included with the entire package. We have beachside snorkeling, and we also have deep water snorkeling, so that's definitely an option for you. We do have coastal explorations on the tender boats, and this is where the naturalists will take a group out on their tender and visit throughout the islands and really look for the wildlife. Now, the naturalists are there week to week, so they really know where to take you, and it's bound to be just a fabulous experience. You'll get to see lots of wildlife just from the tender ride. if you don't want to do a lot of walking. So that is an option, which is a low impact. We do have off-beach excursions where you can snorkel right on the beach side, and then it's combined with a walk on the island. We have some more strenuous hiking available and longer walks for those that are looking to do a little bit more. So definitely something for everyone. And then going back to the groups, we have one naturalist for every 10 guests maximum. So no more than 10 guests per group. And here in Santa Cruz, you really get to see how close we get to the animals. The park asks that we don't get closer than 6 feet away from the animals. However, the animals are not really abiding by those policies, so they tend to walk close to us and try to, they're very curious, and so they do come up, and we're the ones that are asked to take a few steps back. Now remember, these animals are not afraid of humans. They're very peaceful. They are going about their business and in their natural habitat, so you will get a chance to just stand and observe what they're doing, depending on the month of year that you go. Obviously, Galapagos is an annual product. You can visit there anytime during the year, and these animals are going to be there throughout the year. However, they're going to be doing something a little bit different every month. Now, on Fernandina Island, we like to talk about the marine iguanas. Here is where we have the highest population of marine iguanas. And they're very interesting creatures. They have adapted to finding their food at the bottom of the ocean. So you will see them diving in. You may even see them when you're snorkeling. Now, they've developed a mechanism so that when they come up on land, they actually have a sneezing type of mechanism to expulse the salt water, because they cannot digest it. So this is one of the things that makes these marine iguanas so different. They're the only marine iguana in the world. And of course, Galapagos is the place to see them. Now here on this slide, you can also see the terrain. These islands all came about because of the collision of tectonic plates. And of course, they are volcanic rock. So you just want to make sure to bring great walking shoes, as well as water shoes, because you will be sometimes landing right knee deep into the water. And so you want to make sure that, that you have the proper attire. And of course, everything is about adventure in the Galapagos, so no need for formal wear. You will have very casual clothing and of course, natural colors, as neutral as possible for the animals. And as far as on board, again, no formal wear necessary. Basically, just resort wear, casual will be fine for dinners on board and everything else. Now, the flightless cormorant is another beautiful creature that is, again, very unique in the Galapagos. We're so familiar with the cormorants throughout the world, but the flightless cormorant has lost the ability to fly. Again, could not find a lot of food on land, and so quickly discovered that if they went diving into the ocean, there was plenty for them to eat, and so they no longer had the need to fly. So you can see why the wings are so small. They've become atrophy, and of course, this really adds to the beauty of this beautiful bird. Now, you've definitely heard about the boobies in the Galapagos, and you will get a chance to see them. Predominantly, you'll see many of the blue-footed boobies throughout the islands. The red-footed boobies are a little bit more elusive. They tend to hide on the trees and perch on the trees. And then the Nazca boobies are there as well. One of the places that we visit, Punta Pit, you can actually see all 3 species. But you will definitely see, if you're not stopping in Punta Pit in your itinerary, you will definitely see the blue-footed boobies at least. Now, Gardner Bay is just a beautiful, beautiful white-sanded beach. In the Galapagos, you get to see different islands. They all look a little bit different. There's white-sanded beaches, there's green, there's black sand, and even red sand. So every island, depending on the mineral composition, looks a little bit different, which keeps it very interesting for your week. You will be able to do the beachside snorkeling that I mentioned, and I wanted to just point out that we do have are wetsuits available up to 3X, and you will find them in all different lengths, short sleeve, long sleeve, and then, of course, the short and long on the pants as well. And snorkeling is definitely part of one of the best highlights, I think, in the Galapagos because the marine life is so abundant. So you will get an opportunity to go snorkeling, whether it's beachside or deep water. And the sea lions love to play. They come up and they blow bubbles in your face. You will see probably lots of sea turtles, big schools of fish, parrotfish, all types, angelfish I saw. We do get to sometimes spot the black tip and the white tip sharks as well at the bottom. Again, there's plenty for them to eat there. They have just an enormous amount of marine life, so no worries with the sharks. We do get to see them from above. And we do have, by now you're wondering, where am I going to be sleeping throughout this entire wonderful adventure? So we do have choices for you. We have 3 completely different ships depending on what your preference is. So we have the beautiful Celebrity Exploration, which is a catamaran for 16 guests. I have to say that the captain has warned me to send him sailors at heart because this is a very, obviously a very small ship, only 16 passengers, 8 cabins. We have 11 crew members on board, and it is hands-on. It's such a small ship, you'll be able to do some activities that the other ships are not able to offer because of the size of the ship. But I do have some pictures. We have the open spaces on the Exploration, the beautiful junior suite with a veranda. And then we do have ocean views, and it looks just like the junior suite with the exception of not having a private veranda. This is the outdoor bar and grill. So our guests really love to dine out here, but you'll see that both outdoor and indoor, the dining rooms are 2 tables of 8. So definitely just very small, and you will get to know those guests very quickly. Or if you'd like to have the ship to yourselves with 16 guests, we do have a lot of family reunions and friends just reuniting on that ship. Now, Celebrity Expedition is our next one up. It's 48 guests. She's really the one that started it all for Celebrity in the Galapagos. She's definitely been an award-winning vessel. And she used to hold 100 guests, but because we now have the Celebrity Flora, and of course the permits in the Galapagos are very restricted, we only have the capacity for 48 guests on Expedition now. The space has not changed. The cabins are the same. We are only using deck 4, 5, and 6 for our guests on Expedition. And then everything else from the 3rd deck down is for our crew members. And here's some wonderful pictures of the Expedition. We have the beautiful Beagle Grill. Again, we have dinner under the stars. In the Galapagos at night, it really is pitch black, and you can actually identify the constellations. So it's quite beautiful to have a special dinner out here, and our chef usually prepares a very special menu, and the captain usually joins our guests for those nights out in the Beagle Grill. So that's lots of fun. We have the Discovery Lounge, which I like to call the living room on the Expedition. It's where we meet with our naturalists and go over the next day's activities and the port of call. And we also have our open bar in this area, as well as a DJ available for after the briefing, after dinner. Our guests tend to get together here and have their own parties. This is really the extent of the entertainment in the Galapagos. You have a full day of adventure out on the islands, and then everybody kind of gets back. They love to share what they saw, their experience, and then have their meeting with the naturalist, enjoy some cocktails, enjoy dinner, and then maybe do a little dancing. And I would say by 11 o'clock tops, everyone is pretty much out for the night and ready to prepare for the next morning. This is our beautiful Darwin restaurant, inner restaurant inside the Expedition. It's open seating, which I love. Again, 48 passengers. By the 2nd or 3rd day on the cruise, I think everybody knows everyone, and you have the opportunity to really mingle with everyone and sit at different tables each night. We have this available for breakfast and lunch buffet, and that again is a buffet, and then dinner is a la carte. So quite a beautiful dining room. And this is the junior suite on the expedition. We can join those beds to become a queen size bed. So that's what you can expect as your accommodations on the expedition. Now here's the beautiful Celebrity Flora, and we do have 50 suites. The whole idea, this ship was actually built for the Galapagos Islands by Celebrity Cruises. And the whole idea behind it is that for many years, our guests were waiting for suites to become available on expedition because we were very limited on the number of suites and we had a high demand for them. So we came up with the idea of building a ship which was really catering to our suite guests and had, of course, the most modern technology, was all about the conservation of the islands and very eco-friendly. And so the beautiful Celebrity Flora was born. These suites range from 325 square feet all the way to the largest, which is the penthouse with 1,288 square feet. And you can see how we've really kept it bright and open, floor-to-ceiling windows throughout the entire ship. And we really did this with the thought that we wanted to make the entire ship outward facing so that our guests felt like it was just an extension of the beautiful Galapagos Islands. So you can admire some of these beautiful suites. We have the Royal Suite with 559 square feet. We have the Ultimate Sky Suite. And for those of you who have sailed on Celebrity, you may be familiar with the Infinite Veranda. It's a concept that came with Celebrity Edge, and it's where at the touch of a button on your wall panel, you can lower the veranda window and it becomes a veranda, or you can have that closed and keep that space inside your stateroom. So that's really what the Infinite Veranda is, and we have it available on all of the SK category, and then Infinite Veranda with the Premium Sky Suite as well. And the traditional Sky Suites with Infinite Veranda, and of course our traditional veranda with the Sky Suite 1, S1. And we do have 22 of these available. This is the entry-level Sky Suite, and it's 330 square feet as far as the size. But for those guests that really love to have that separation and to be able to open their door and step out into a veranda, we find that some of our guests still really prefer that, so we have both available. And then one of the big changes, it's really been a game changer for us in the Galapagos, has been the Naturalist yacht tenders. These are the tenders that will take you from the islands over to the ship every day for the 7 days. We don't have a pier available for on any of these islands for our ship, so we do have to tender everyone back and forth. Now, this is a very comfortable tender. It actually has a hydraulic system that meets the marina on the back of the Celebrity Flora, so that it makes it a lot easier for our guests to climb on and off the ship. And also, when it arrives on the islands, that same system helps that it actually lowers a ramp so that you can easily come off the Naturalist yacht tender on the islands. So it's really been a big change for the way that we used to go on board and off on the islands with our expedition. And I think for many of our guests, they do find it a lot more comfortable. Now, we did talk a little bit about Galapagos glamping at the beginning. And again, this is one of the only activities that is not included, but we've seen our guests really enjoy this and rave about the experience. Many of them are using it to celebrate anniversaries, birthdays, any special occasions. You will receive pajamas in your suite the night before, and then the day of, you'll have a briefing with your naturalist out in the cabanas. You'll have dinner out in the cabanas. There's actually one cabana that's a lounging area for you, and then there's one that's the sleeping quarters. And then if you decide to sleep out under the stars, you'll have breakfast brought out to you at sunrise. So it's just a beautiful experience outdoors with our Galapagos glamping. Our guests really love it. And of course, we do have questions. We usually have a lot of questions, so I'm going to open up our chat box and just take a few of those questions now. And I do have a first question coming in from David. David, thank you for joining us today. He is asking if there's an age restriction for the children to come on board any of our ships. So David, great question. We don't have an age restriction. We do suggest that if the kids are coming on board, that they're at least 7 years old. And that's basically so that they can really appreciate the experience and remember everything that they're going to see and be able to really interact with the naturalists, because our naturalists take time, especially when we have our children on board, to really talk to the kids about the animals and the flora and answer all of their questions that they may have. So we do suggest 7 and above. We've had instances where parents brought smaller children and they would alternate. So one would stay on board with the child, and then the other parent would go on an excursion. And of course, that's another way that they can do that. But we don't have an age requirement. Now, we do have another question coming in from Michelle. And Michelle, she's asking, when is the best time to visit the Galapagos Islands? And Michelle, this is really a great question. We get this one a lot. Galapagos is, again, available for the entire year. We're there every week. It's all about what your preference is. So we do have 2 different seasons in the Galapagos. The January through April is considered the rainy season. Now, in the Galapagos, it only rains in the higher land, so you really will not be impacted by the rain when you're going on our shore excursions. But the waters tend to be warmer. It's considered their summertime. So outdoor temperature is in the 80s when you're going out for your walks and your hikes. And then the water temperature tends to be around 72 degrees between that period, January through April. Now, from May through December, it's considered their dry season. And so it does get cooler outside. I would say it goes to the 70s for outdoor temperature. Water temperature does drop to about 60 degrees. We do have the wetsuits, so not to worry about the water being cold, because the wetsuits do work. But it really depends on what your preference is as far as the weather. You will see the animals throughout the entire year. They'll just be in a different part of their cycle. So great question, Michelle. Thank you for that. And let's see, we do have another question coming in from Marie. And she's asking about mobility, if we have accessibility for guests. And so, great question, Marie. We do not have accessible staterooms. As you saw when I showed the volcanic rock, you really need to have great walking shoes and be able to walk on that type of terrain throughout the islands. So we definitely don't suggest that any guests come on with that need a wheelchair or walker. The Flora has made it a little bit more comfortable for guests for climbing on and off the ship, but we can't really say that we have any staterooms that are accessible. And of course, we do offer walking sticks if the guests need a little bit more stability walking through the islands, but I wouldn't recommend it for anyone that had serious mobility issues. Okay, well, thank you for those questions. We do have, of course, our wonderful friends at the CruiseWeb ready to take calls and to answer any other questions that you may have, and they really are experts. I'd like to thank you for joining us today. And of course, if you do have additional questions or you'd like to talk about any type of sale date or rates, please call our friends at the CruiseWeb at 1-800-377-9383. They are truly experts on the Galapagos Islands. They are wonderful partners to us, and we're just thrilled that they invited us for this webinar. And they are celebrating 25 years of being in the industry and creating amazing vacation memories for their clients. So I truly recommend that you talk to our friends at the CruiseWeb, and they have a direct line to us. So anything that you have in mind, they can definitely communicate with us right away. Again, thank you so much for joining us. They will have promotions available for the Galapagos Islands, and these do tend to change on a month-to-month basis. So definitely ask them about our Galapagos promotions. And we do hope that you get out there and you enjoy the beautiful archipelago as soon as you can. Thank you so much. Have a great day.